This is a coal train, and it is moving very, very, very slowly. And I'm filming it at night with a drone because apparently I have made some questionable decisions in my life. Oh, and there's the reason I came out here. NS 1800. This is an SD70 ACC, and it's wearing the special yellow mane paint scheme commemorating its conversion from DC to AC power. And where is it? On a coal train. Where is it positioned? Trailing. Of course it is. So, if you're one of my local followers, you may have noticed something unusual happening around Torrenum lately. Our trains have slowed down. A lot. A few days ago, a historic building in town suffered a partial collapse of its brick facade. And because that building sits right alongside the railroad, the town understandably became concerned about vibration from passing trains potentially causing more material to come loose. So while engineers figure out exactly what the future holds for the building, Norfolk Southern trains are currently creeping through town at 10 miles an hour. 10 miles per hour. And when I heard about this, I immediately told my Railfan friends, Tarentum is going to be the place to be. Because if you're a Railfan, a speed restriction like this sounds fantastic. Everything is going to be moving slowly. You'll have more time to photograph it. More time to identify everything. More time to get video. More time to actually watch the train. And technically, I wasn't wrong. I just didn't realize how fucking ridiculous 10 miles an hour actually looks. Now, I wasn't actually standing in Torrenum for this. A couple of my Railfan friends have told me about a spot just across the border in Brackenridge. It's become one of my favorite places to shoot at night. There's a business here with some absolutely ridiculous lighting. Street lights, floodlights, enough light bleeding onto the railroad that you can actually get a decent shot of a freight train after the sun goes down, which is not easy. Nighttime footage is a completely different animal, and it's still a work in progress for me. And tonight, I wasn't alone. The guy who runs the Railfan Discord server I'm in was out here too. He was on the ground, I was in the air, which means we had two different cameras pointed at the exact same train because apparently one camera wasn't enough. This is actually my second time coming back here for night shots, and I've been getting a little better each time, which is important because my first attempt here was not good. At one point, I got the drone so close to the building that somebody actually called me out on it. And rather than admit that I had almost turned a $500 drone into a very expensive paperweight, I basically pretended I meant to do that. Yeah, that's an artistic choice. Very avant-garde. The drone equivalent of accidentally spilling paint on a canvas and calling it modern art. Fortunately, I didn't hit the building, and I've gotten considerably more comfortable flying at night since then. And tonight, I got this. I was able to follow 1800 for about 30 seconds, as you saw, and that's another thing I'm learning with this drone. You can't treat night flying like daytime flying. During the day, you can see everything. At night, you're basically looking at a handful of illuminated objects floating in a sea of black. And you have to trust your instruments, your positioning, your surroundings, your judgment, and ideally, your ability not to fly into a building, which I am now apparently qualified to talk about. There's something hilarious about watching this particular train at 10 miles an hour, because you can actually appreciate just how much stuff is moving past you. A coal car, Coal car. Coal car. Another coal car. Another coal car. Oh, look! Another coal car. This is the point where a normal person would probably ask, isn't this boring? And yes, absolutely it is. That's why I'm here. Because railfanning is one of the few hobbies where waiting is part of the entertainment. You can sit somewhere for hours, see absolutely nothing, suddenly hear something on the radio, and your entire brain switches on. Train. That's it. That's the whole thought. Train. And now you're moving. Drone out. Radio turned up. Road channel on one bank, and our GMS repeater we have on the other. Checking the Discord. Looking down the track. Trying to figure out whether it's a C6M, an Evo, a Tier 4, or something interesting. And if you're really unlucky, it's an empty hopper train, which is still a train, so you film it anyway. And that's why I came out here tonight. Not because I knew this coal train was going to be some incredible spectacle. I came because I knew 1800 was on it, and I wanted the shot. That's how ridiculous this hobby gets. I wasn't satisfied knowing the locomotive was on it. I wanted to see it. I wanted to hear it. I wanted to fly a drone next to it. And apparently, I wanted to stand outside at night watching several thousand tons of steel move at 10 miles an hour. Because that's what normal adults do. "10 miles an hour. Still going. Still going. Yep. Still going." But honestly, watching this tonight got me thinking. We spend our entire lives trying to make everything faster. Faster cars, faster internet, faster phones, same-day shipping. We now apparently get upset if something takes longer than 15 seconds to load. And yet, I'll happily stand beside a railroad and watch a train crawl past me for 8 minutes. Because the whole point isn't really the train, it's being there. It's listening to the radio. It's hearing signals called out. It's figuring out what's coming before anyone else sees it. It's standing beside somebody who enjoys the same weird hobby and watching something enormous slowly work its way through town. So yeah, Torrenum is currently the place to be if you're a rail fan. The trains are slow, really slow, paint drying slow. But that means you get something railfanning normally doesn't give you. Time. Time to watch, time to photograph, time to actually appreciate what's passing in front of you. And apparently, time for some idiot with a drone to spend his evening following a coal train around Brackenridge. All because one particular locomotive happened to be trailing, because these special interest units never lead, I swear. That's railfanning. You don't have to understand it. Hell, sometimes I don't understand it. But I'll be out here anyway, probably standing in the dark, waiting for the next train, and hopefully not hitting a building.